Assalamu alaikum. This is an information session about KAIST EE department, and KAIST is a Korea Advanced Institute of Science and Technology. I'm Humaira Kausar doing PhD at KAIST. Before we start further, I want to tell you guys, I also did my master's from KAIST and I did my bachelor's from MCS. Okay, now let's see what Reuters say about KAIST. It's on number one among the Asia's most innovative universities, and it's on number six among the world's most innovative universities. And according to QS World Universities, it's on number 42nd, and according to top 50 under 50, it's on number third. And if we see by subject ranking, its EE department is on number 23rd. This table shows the QS worldwide ranking in electrical engineering of KAIST, and you can see it's on 23rd number. Now here you can see the KAIST provide research in circuits and systems, nano devices, signals and artificial intelligence, future communication, photonics, computing security and software. KAIST care a lot about the information international students, and it provides a lot of opportunities for students, and I mentioned a couple of those which are international student garden party, year-end party, students orientation, cultural trips, dinners, barbecue parties, happy hours, gathering, alumni seminars, and city tours, etc. These are some pictures of EE department of lounge, and these are the rest areas of EE department. Now here comes the main point, like why you guys should consider KAIST for graduate studies. The reason is KAIST offers world-renowned academic programs, and it is strongly connected to high-tech industry. And it takes projects from Samsung, LG, SK Hynix, Hyundai, etc. And it also supports students full financial scholarship with monthly stipend. And it also offers a competitive research environment to the students. Now let's see how you guys can apply to the KAIST. This is the link for the application of KAIST. KAIST actually takes students 3 times a year, once in spring semester and twice in fall semester. For early application, you can apply in December to January, and for regular application, you can apply from March to April. And for the exact timeline, please visit the admission website. To apply, the step one is to apply electronically, like you have to fill the application form online. The second thing is the decision for your admission will be made by each department individually, and it will be based only on your application material. And if your application material will be good enough to secure the admission, then they will call you for interview, and it will be through email. Your application package should have the application form along with the statement of purpose or your motivation letter and the statement of financial resources. It is required for the visa, and if you will get scholarship, then you can show your scholarship form. Then you require 2 recommendation letters, a certified copy of your degree and your IELTS test, your CV, your CNIC, your FRC, and if you mentioned your some extra documents in your application, then provide the proof of those documents additionally. Now the question arises, how you guys can increase the chances of your admission. Basically, the rule is same for Korean students and international students. And the first criteria is a good GPA. And for that, you guys should know what's the definition of good GPA. And Korean considers GPA more than 3.5 as a good GPA. And it's the one of the most important factor in decision. And if you are applying for master's degree, then they will check your undergrad GPA. And if you are applying for PhD degree, then they will check the GPA of your undergrad and also the GPA of your master's degree. And also they will check the reputation of your university and department. And luckily, NUST has extremely good reputation at KAIST. Then comes the IELTS test. You need to at least attain the minimum marks of IELTS, which is, I guess, 6.5. You can check from the website. But the English test scores won't offset the low GPA. Next comes the student advisor matchmaking. Because in KAIST, for pursuing the graduate studies, every student should have an advisor. So the KAIST EE department strongly encourages the combined master's and PhD degree, but students can also apply for only master's degree. But in case of master's degree, you guys don't need to have an advisor at the time of application. But for PhD degree or for the integrated degree, student must have an advisor at the time of application. So the question is how students can find an advisor in EE department, which is very important because every student should have an advisor at the time of the admission. So the tip number 1 is to start early. Don't postpone. Postpone it until the application deadline. The next tip is read homepage of your potential advisor and read the recent publications. It's the key point. The next tip is personalize the email. Like don't send the email like dear sir or madam, because professors get these type of emails in like on like daily basis. So they don't waste their time to read those kind of emails because they know students try to send a single email to a lot of professors. So try to write emails like very specific. For example, dear Professor Hunju Janili. The next tip is to talk about specific research area or subject in the email. If it will be broad, the advisor won't be interested and you will not get the reply of your email. In the case you don't have an advisor at the time of application, then the professor receives a list of applicants who pass the pre-screening test. It's only for master's degree. Like if some students are applying for a master's degree, uh, it's not working, the screen. If some students are applying for master's degree, but they don't have oh, yeah. Okay. For example, some students are applying for master's degree, but they don't have advisor at the time of application. But those students require advisor at the time of admission. So what they can do, they can apply at the university, and then once they clear the screening test, then the professor receives a list of students who passed the pre-screening test. And the students who pass the screening test, they will get email containing name of the professors who want students. So in this way, you guys can contact professors, and if professor is interested, then you can exchange your ideas with the professor, and you can like confirm your professor. So what does this mean? If you specify only one area, professor in other areas will probably not look at your application. So if you don't have advisor at the time of application, then write more than one area. So like more number of professor try to read your application. So there are some tips which you should consider before looking for an advisor. The number 1 is make sure to look up the professor's profile. The number 2 is do ask around how he deals his students. And number 3 is to know how the professor is. Is he a good professor or a bad professor? You can ask his students, his lab students, like how much time does it take for his students to graduate. If it's like a good time like 2 years for masters, then you can choose that professor. And the second thing is honesty. Be honest in your application. Grades matter more than anything else, and don't put anything you don't have experience of that thing. Then comes the finances. Luckily, if you get accepted in KAIST, then you don't have to worry about the finances, because KAIST support fully to the students who secure admission in KAIST. For master's degree, KAIST provides a stipend of 1 million won, which is Pakistani 1.6 lakh. And in some labs, if you work on more than one project, then you can get more than this scholarship. And in case of PhDs, KAIST provides 2.3 lakh PKR. And if you are not interested in KAIST scholarship, then you can apply for external funding sources. The number one is the Korean government scholarship, and for that you can apply separately after the application. And also the link is provided for that scholarship. And other are self-finance if you are like rich enough to finance yourself, but it don't seems good because the fee of KAIST is a lot. It's like 95 lakh Pakistani rupees per semester. It's just like tuition fee, then you have to like give your monthly rents and a lot. And also, before applying for masters, if you just want to visit KAIST to see how is this place, is it like good for you or not, then you can apply for KAIST double E camp. It's like fully funded, and it's a 3 to 4 day camp, and it mostly come the application for that camp mostly comes in January and sometimes in August. So do check that kind of camps. This is the KAIST campus. Actually, it's not very clear in the picture. Uh, this is the west side of the campus, this is the east, and this all is the north side of the campus. So it's very pretty and very huge. Also, the research environment and the facilities at KAIST is really good. So you guys can ask questions if you have any. Yeah. Alaikum salam. What application details do we need for application for when applying? And what are the other Korean universities in which you applied, and what is the process of other Korean universities? Actually, I didn't apply to any other university of Korea, because only the KAIST has a really good ranking worldwide. Is there any student who is a fan of K dramas? Then those students must know like how difficult is it in Korea to apply to get accepted in KAIST, because students study a lot to get accepted in KAIST, and the ranking of KAIST is really good. But some students do apply in Seoul National University and Chungnam National University, but their ranking is good in Korea but not worldwide. So I recommend you guys to apply in only those universities which have good ranking not in Korea but also worldwide. Yeah. What are the language barriers you face, and how the university facilitates learning the language barrier? Actually, outside university, you will face a little language barrier, but inside the KAIST, every student and every professor speak in English, and all the lectures and all other things of KAIST are in English. So I'm not really good in Korean. I just know a few sentences and few words which I usually use outside the university. And there is um, ISSS International Student, I guess, Council by KAIST, which is a separate department to facilitate international students. So KAIST is really international student friendly university. Yeah. Two questions basically. Number one, basically you told about the IELTS, but we have a degree in English. So some universities do is that they compensate your English proficiency if you do an undergraduate. Yeah, it's true. For KAIST, okay, let me answer your first question. For KAIST, if your degree is in English, then you can like apply for the exemption of IELTS test, but it's only for the KAIST admission. Ultimately, you have to give the IELTS because for visa, uh, they need IELTS test. So it's you have to give the IELTS test either now or after getting admission. Ma'am, the second question is I have like a little bit of experience undergraduate applications for that. Okay. And they ask a lot of math questions in interview. Yeah. A lot of very hard math. Is it the same for graduate admission? Actually, in case of graduate, it vary from professor to professor. Honestly speaking, our math is so bad compared to Korean students. Their math is so good, and professors know like the maths of Pakistani student is not good, so they try to check either your math is at least at the minimum level or not. So if you want to give interview for masters, then please check the professor's profile beforehand. Any other question? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, really nice question. Actually, it's totally fine for KAIST because my major was in telecom, and now my research is in artificial intelligence. It's like a 90-degree shift. But because at bachelor's level, I didn't study even a machine learning course, and I think that should be like added in a new syllabus for bachelor studied at MCS, because like it really gives a like exposure to really different fields. So if you want to apply for any other field, like if you are a telecom engineer student and electrical engineer student, and if you want to apply for MBA or the software engineering, is totally fine. You just have to specify your major and your field of interest in your application. There is like no other track or any other requirement is required. Yeah. Actually, the Sky scholarship is enough to survive there, and also you can do savings there. And but still, if you want to do a part-time job, then you can secure a couple of jobs inside the campus. But to do jobs outside the campus, you have to take permission from your advisor. If your advisor don't care about you do job or not, then it's totally fine. Actually, their master's degree is a research-based degree, and if you are applying after the bachelor's, you just have to show in which field you want to do research. You don't have to give a like research proposal like I will do that in master's or I will make that kind of thing in master's. No, you just have to say like I want to work in that area and I want to explore that area, something like that. That will be enough. Actually, it's totally okay. Uh, for that, I will recommend to mention your FIP because that will add plus point. Because at KAIST at undergrad level, they don't do like final year project. They do some kind of like internship like that. And if some student has a really good experience of final year project, then it's like a plus point. It's totally okay. Actually, if your application material will be good enough, then they are gonna ask question in the interview, and that will be totally related to your application material. So don't write anything in the application like things you don't know, because like you are trying to put yourself in a difficult situation by yourself. So please don't do that. Yeah.
मैम आपने अपनी प्रेजेंटेशन में भी कोरियन गवर्नमेंट स्कॉलरशिप का जिक्र किया उसमें हमें 1 ईयर का प्रिपरेटरी कोर्स भी मिलता है
Yeah.
अगर आपका कोर्स अगर आपका डायरेक्टली भी एडमिशन हो जाता है काइस्ट और आपका केजीएस के थ्रू भी हो जाता है तो व्हाट डू यू प्रेफर
I will prefer the KAIST scholarship because the KGSP scholarship is not like in my case. I mentioned here the master's degree scholarship was 1 million won, but in my scenario, my professor, I don't know what should I say, but my professor was really good. My scholarship was 1.6 million won. So it totally depends on professor. But in case of Korean government scholarship, I guess it's like 9 lakhs or 8 lakhs. It's something like that. But if you apply for KAIST, it's 1 million. So it's good. And also in case of Korean government scholarship, you have to waste your 1 year to learn Korean language. And if you don't want to do job after your master's degree in Korea, then I guess it's just a waste of time to learn Korean. Also at KAIST, they give you an opportunity to learn Korean along with your master's degree, and it's totally free of cost. Any other question?
Then is there any requirement of graduate aptitude test like DRE and
No, there is no requirement.
can it make sense? Plus point if you have cleared in GRE like internationally accepted aptitude test can make your CV.
You can like mention that in extra documents.
And what is the job perspective after you have done masters from KAIST? कोरिया में उसके अकॉर्डिंग करने के related jobs का क्या perspective होगा?
Actually, if you are KAI student, then in Korea you will get job very easily because if you go like outside university campus and even you meet old people of Korea and they like ask you in Korean something and you just say KAIST and they will say brain. Like they know KAI students are very intelligent. Like the old people don't know English, they cannot speak in English, but they say like brain, like that. So if you are KAI student, you will get job very easily. And even like after masters, if you want to apply for your PhD degree in US or any other country, then you will get admission very easily. Any other question? Actually, compared to other departments of KAIST, the EE department of KAIST offers a really good scholarship because out of the total budget of KAIST, research budget of KAIST, like 100%, the 40% budget is like in EE department. So if you want to get a good scholarship in masters, then apply in EE department.
Some comments regarding scope electrical engineering at KAIST because in Pakistan we are facing difficulties in finding a good number of students. So scope of electrical engineering at KAIST, what do you say?
Scope of electrical engineering at KAIST. What does this mean?
If basically to get good number of students,
Yeah.
because at Pakistan we see that software engineering program is more strongly developed as compared to electrical engineering.
Actually, in KAIST, I will say like in every department of KAIST, like even the civil engineers are trying to like integrate AI in civil engineering because they know if they will integrate AI in any project, then they will get more funding. And in Korea, like every graduate get a job. It's not like they are getting a lot of students, but students are not getting job. It's like it's not like Pakistan.
Another question. Normally, for the foreign universities, personal statement matters a lot.
Yeah.
How can we write a very good personal statement? What's the motivation to pursue this university?
Actually, in case of personal statement, I will recommend you to see examples at Facebook group scholarship at scholarship network, something like that. Because at my time, I saw like couple of examples from that group, and those examples were really good. So, how many of you guys want to pursue graduate studies after bachelor's? A lot of students? Good. And how many of you want to apply in KAIST? Okay.
And that part, the education part, but I have heard about Korea that they're more civilized even than Europeans.
Yeah, very civilized.
Is
Right.
it true?
Yeah, it's so true. Like if there are like more than one person, like two or three, they will start making a row. But in Pakistan, if like more than 10 people, they will like.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.